Crave. It's funny, man. McDonald's basically made this film. Like I think they actually like produced the movie because there's a video with Ronald McDonald being like, "We made a movie. It's called Mac and Me, and it's literally just a rip off of E.T." Like if people that don't know this, I feel like this is common knowledge at this point, but this is a fun one. So let's do this.
Grammarly makes communication
Okay, first let's make so we can see the trailer. Come on, Doug. But let's just seriously put it in front. All right. Let's do the business.
one click simpler.
Wait, does it work? Yeah. All right.
Looking for a new job? Well, you love the one you have. Grammarly can help you communicate with confidence.
Skip the ads. Now on Blu-ray. Sick.
They were an average alien family living on their own planet. And we were an average family living on ours.
Who is this voice? I don't think this person's in the movie.
He took my Coke, Mom. Come on, you guys.
I don't have it. I didn't take it.
Cause he's acting like it's him, like it's his family, but I don't. Who is that voice supposed to be?
I knew it.
Accidents happen, and like us, they found themselves in a strange new neighborhood.
Okay, real quick. So the lander. This is how Mac and me and Eric. This is how Eric and Mac meet. So Mac and Mac and his family get sucked up by a NASA lander, like they just showed, which wouldn't work. Like they would have that much weight, they wouldn't be able to lift off. And then they just like get separated. I don't know. We'll get into it more, but let's just continue the trailer.
Communing with the earth spirits.
Welcome to California, bud.
Alert, alert. We have
Welcome to California, bud.
Their lives were in danger.
See?
Back off, Larry. Get away from it.
Whoa.
We got a problem here.
Yeah, this movie's insane.
When the smoke cleared, the family was separated. Somehow, one of the aliens was hiding in our house.
Is this Eric's voice? I guess this is Eric. I mean, wait, no. Well, I forget his brother's name. This is Eric's brother's voice, I
The
think.
government wanted to capture it.
It's here.
And it's like, I don't know. I have so many
And my brother
questions with this
wants to
movie.
make friends.
You sucked this living thing into a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, and then we blew him out again.
Now Eric, risking not only his life,
That's so
but my
stupid.
life
You either got step back.
to save them.
Yeah, and that's another crazy scene when he's just riding into ongoing traffic in a wheelchair. This movie's so insane. And McDonald's paid for this shit. Hard. It's Mac and Me,
It's about
baby.
more than
It's
friendship.
Mac and Me.
It's about adventure.
You haven't heard of Mac and Me, even, Dad? It's literally... You should watch this movie, Dad. It's so bad it's good. It's like E.T., but honestly, I would rather watch this than E.T. just because it's so ridiculously bad, but it's fun. So let's bring me back.
Looking for royalty-free music?
Not right now, but sometimes. Anyway, let's put me back here. Is it work? I guess it's streaming. That's all that matters. We're going. The Wi-Fi is working. That is good. That's good news. So let's put me back. Boom. Hey, I'm back. So, let's talk about the movie some more. Mac and Me. Honestly, I'm just gonna go and look at the. We're gonna look at the IMDb as well soon. So I'm just gonna make myself little. But we have the IMDb right here. Let's check it out, Mac and Me. I wonder how terrible of a rating this has. Probably pretty bad. I'm always amazed at how boring E.T. really is. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I think that's the feeling that I got from watching First Encounters of the Third Kind or whatever. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, this is. But I didn't like that one that much. It's another Steven Spielberg alien movie, and it's just underwhelming to me. Um, it already looks way better than E.T., yeah. It's way more entertaining. Oh yeah, we'll talk about the Coca-Cola product placement and the McDonald's product placement. There's a lot to talk about with this movie. But yeah, no, there's no noteworthy actors. Like, I'm not gonna talk about the actors at all. I'll just call them by their character. Nobody went on to do anything else of note, I don't think. Featured review. I love this movie. Oh man, I love this movie. I remember going to my friend's house just to watch it when we were little. Yes, I know it is a little cheesy. It's more than a little cheesy, but so is other stuff and movies. I think people should give this film more credit. It was good for its time, and it isn't E.T., but it's good in its own way. Well, it's so bad it's good. I'll give them that. And the guy who played Michael was hot. That was the one of the main notes. I'm trying to remember which character is Michael. Is that the brother? Really? Is that? Yeah, that's the brother, I guess. I didn't think he was that hot, but okay, whatever. You're entitled to your own opinion. Um, let's. It should be called Mac and Cheesy. Oh my God. There are no noteworthy actors. I mean. I didn't mean to sound that mean. They all did their best. Um, I want to see the box office information. Yeah, this was rough. This is rough. $13 million budget and a $2 million opening weekend with a $6 million gross. So not even half the budge. Not so good. But I digress. That's all we need. We're gonna talk about with the movie now. I mean, with the IMDb page. Well, there's more to talk about with the movie, believe me. But there, bring me back. So, let's talk about Mac and me. So there's so many weird things. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to talk about all of them, but I'll try to do my best. So let's talk first about how the aliens look. They all have the face like an O face all the time. They always look like this. And they sort of do this thing where they walk with their crotch, especially the dad alien. But they all sort of do this a little bit. When they go like they walk like this. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. What's up, Doc Tortilla Mama? What up, what up? Welcome to the party. I'm talking about Mac and Me. Ever seen this movie? Oh, I should change the title. I should change the title of the stream. Because it's no longer it's no longer Mortal Kombat. But I can't talk. We're now doing Mac and Me. Have you seen Mac and Me? Has anyone else seen this movie? Doesn't everyone walk like that? Tortilla Mia, I want to give you a shout out. If I have a mod, please shout Tortilla Mia. I don't think I do though, so I'll do it soon. Tortilla Mia is a friend. Thank you for being here. Mac and Me movie review. There we go. And Talk Show Podcast. Yeah, we're good. All right. Boom. And we're back. Let's keep the party going. So, what's up, Doc? Is we're talking about one of the best bad movies, in my opinion. It's like pretty funny. Anyway, I don't know if I would quite put it like the level of Tommy and the Cool Mule, but honestly, it's close. And if someone would put this above Tommy and the Cool Mule, I would understand. But man, Tommy and the Cool Mule made me laugh so hard. People that don't know what I'm talking about, Tommy and the Cool Mule I keep saying Tommy and the Cool Mule, but it's a movie with Ice-T voicing a talking mule, and Kevin Sorbo is the villain. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Mac and Me, the E.T. ripoff that was entirely funded by McDonald's, Skittles, and of course, Coca-Cola. Because I talked about how the aliens all look like this with the O face, like the But I feel like the people who made the special effects, they made the aliens, and the writers were like, well, we can't make them talk, so let's just have them whistle. Let's just have them whistle. That's how they communicate. And that's another note that's maybe is not so good about this movie is there's a lot of just them whistling. There's a lot of long scenes of them communicating whistling because Mac gets separated from his family, if you remember me saying that. They come from their planet. Oh yeah, by the way, in the opening scene, the I think the dad alien sticks a straw into the ground in their home planet and just starts like sucking up, like starts drinking the ground. So what I think is that because later on we show that Coca-Cola is literally the force of life that makes them live, and it's like their food and or water. Like I don't even see them eating anything except for Skittles. So they just all they eat is Skittles and Coke. That's like makes them nutritious. I don't know. It's so ridiculous, but McDonald's, I straight up think that they were like, let's see if we can make ET again, but worse, but make all the money off the product placement because everyone knew Reese's Pieces, like their stock went up huge after ET went out with all the scenes of ET nibbling on the Reese's Pieces. I mean, come on, that's gold. And of course, McDonald's want to get into that. And there's so much talk of like Big Macs, McDonald's, Coca Cola over and over again, Skittles. There's even other product placement from like Dos Equis, and Cadillac. There's a lot of product placement in this movie. And it's kind of a fun game to witness and be like, well, how many times can you notice someone like wearing a McDonald's shirt, talk about a Big Mac, anything? There's so many little things like that in this. This sounds like it might be almost as good as Tommy and the Cool Mule. It's honestly it would be close. For me again, Tommy and the Cool Mule slightly more entertaining, but this is so bad. It's good for sure. It's one of those. Um and I love the aliens. I love the aliens in this. I mean, you're going in this you, you're gonna want the alien. That's gonna be the main reason for watching. A lot of people's complaints with this film is that the aliens are ugly, and like I don't know, they're aliens. Like they're not supposed to look like us. What is ugly, you know? But also, I get it. Mac is the cutest one out of all of them, and they're not the cutest looking species, I guess, but still, Mac is kind of cute. I'm standing by this. People say that Mac's not cute. I think there's certain times where Mac is kind of cute, and the animatronics, like someone put work into these animatronics. The effects sometimes aren't that bad, um, and there's some really like jarring visuals. But honestly, I like that. I like that it's entertaining. It's never leaving you bored when they show like a plastered Mac, like because he's like a cartoon character. There's no bones. They can just get thrown around, stretched out, slammed into a puddle. It's like he's like a cartoon character. They're supposed to look real. the the aliens. Well, it's a movie from the '80s with the practical effects aren't going to be like up to the par of ET. Although I'm going to say this right now, ET is not as cute as Mac. I fucking said it, and I'm saying it. ET is a better effect technically, but it's not fucking cuter than Mac. Mac's small, got the cute little eyes. ET looks literally like a piece of shit. I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's like kind of looks like poop, like the color of poop. Mac is not quite the color of poop. He's got that, going for him. I think that it's funny, this movie. And like the way that the aliens move and how like whenever they cut to a shot of Mac, he's going because that's the like pretty much the only shape they have his mouth for, and all the other aliens too. And like I said, Coca-Cola saves the aliens. It keeps them alive. So Mac and their family are torn apart or whatever. They're separated. So they find their family on their deathbeds, about to die. But then the brother, Jonathan, gives them some Coca Cola and it revives them from near death. because the Coca-Cola will save lives. Is basically what this movie is trying to tell you, or at least alien lives, because this planet is apparently made of fucking Coca-Cola. It is insane. It is insane, but it's very funny. Just the sheer ridiculousness of that plot device. Um, anyways, they're supposed to look real, and it's funny that emote looks like their faces. I mean, Mac. I mean, they look not bad though. They look. If you suspend your disbelief, they do look real. I think to a certain extent, it's not the worst practical effect I've ever seen. That's for sure. Like work was put in this movie. It's $12 million budget. It's not as big as I'm sure E.T. had even at the time, but in the '80s, that's not like the lowest budget in the world for sure. Of course, the aliens look like crap. They eat nothing but Coke and Skittles. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. But that's like apparently what they eat on their home planet and drink on their home planet. I'm assuming we only really see them drink the fluid though on their home planet. Maybe they have something. Maybe they eat the sand and it's like Skittles. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making up the lore at this point. Um, you look like shitty T. No offense though. Yeah, exactly though. But seriously though, he does. He looks like shit. He look like I think he doesn't look cute to me. Mac to me is like a little cuter. That's how I feel about it. I'm standing my ground on this. There's lots of things. The fucking scene where they go to a birthday party at McDonald's. Oh my god. So they can't just leave Mac alone. They finally found him again. So they decide to take him to the birthday party, and they put him into a bear costume that they just had, and that fits Mac perfectly, of course. And they take him, and his friend's mom is driving, and she's like, not suspicious at all at first that this like she's just like, oh, it's weird that he's bringing a teddy bear. He's a little old for a teddy bear. But then it's like clearly moving like around her, but she doesn't say anything until a little bit later, and she's like, "Oh, why is the bear moving?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a robotic, new computerized type of bear." And she's like, "I thought you said that you had it for a long time." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I have, but I just put in new microchips." So it's, it's computerized now because we put in new microchips into the teddy bear. Oh my god, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. Cool, cool." And so they go to McDonald's, and everything is happening at this McDonald's. People are dancing. People are eating Big Macs. There's a birthday party. Ronald McDonald himself is there. There's football players. Everyone's doing a choreographed dance that is apparently also somehow a dance competition. Not sure how those rules work, but that's okay. This film is so ridiculous. And another thing, during this scene, the government is trying to get Mac. And at the beginning of the movie, they just let Mac and his family walk out. Like they cause quite the ruckus, to be fair. They get out of this NASA lander. They start just touching shit and blowing it up, but yet the scientists and government or whatever this is, NASA, they're like, okay, just don't, like, hold your fire, don't do anything, which I don't get. Like, why not stop them if then later you're trying to chase them and get them back? I don't really understand that plan. Like, why are you letting them go and then chase them? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. And then at Rock and Roll McDonald's. That's right, Stevie, and welcome, Stevie. Oh, I forgot to shout out Tortilla Mia. I'm going to do that right now. I don't know if you're still here, Tortilla Mia, but I love you, and I thank you for even being here for a little bit. So you get a shout out. Follow Tortilla Mia. Thank you, Stevie, for being here. But yeah, the government is just trying to get Mac. And oh, by the way, we got to talk about what Mac stands for. Mysterious alien creature. Yes. Mysterious alien creature is what Mac stands for. I also wonder if another part of why they called it Mac and Me is because McDonald's. So they were like, Big Mac, Mac and Me. I don't know. That's all I got. But maybe it has something to do with it. Because like I said, McDonald's, I think, literally produced this film. And in the credits, it has Ronald McDonald as himself as if there weren't various different people being different Ronald McDonalds. Maybe they had like the one main Ronald McDonald that they like have doing all the TV shit, and then they have the other ones in like Oregon or whatever the fuck. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic. There's lots of scenes to talk about with this movie, but yeah, the government is, but they have, that's the point. They're just trying to be like E.T. Like we have to have the government chasing Mac because E.T. So there's so many crazy parts in this movie, like the score, the soundtrack. I actually like the soundtrack. It's scored by the same person who does Back to the Future, but it's, which is insane, but still, the score is good, but it doesn't really fit with the movie. Like there's a part with like an 80s power ballad, and Mac is just like in a tree after dogs have chased him up a tree, and he's just like swaying in a tree like, and this like, oh yeah, like an 80s power ballad. It just doesn't fit, but it's really funny and I liked it a lot, I must say. Um I was laughing out loud. Sup, Stevie Spaghetti? Stevie, yes, friends. I love it. I love all the camaraderie. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. But hey, let's continue to talk about this movie. So yeah, the score is good, but weird at times because it doesn't really fit. Um, and yeah, I love this movie. It's fun. Let's talk about, because there's a part where I really laughed, maybe the hardest at this part. There's a part where they're trying to take Mac and their family. Honestly, I forget what they're, the point. They're trying to bring them somewhere to like on TV or something to get people to know about. I forget. Honestly, I forget the plan. Or they're trying to get them back to their home planet somehow. But the plan isn't really. They're just driving them somewhere. But they stop at a gas station to get gas, and that makes sense. And this is where the movie escalates, and this is sort of where the movie ends anyway. So it doesn't really matter where they were going because they don't end up going there. Or at least we don't see them go there. But they stop and they leave the aliens alone in the car, which is, you know, first mistake. Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you leave the aliens alone in the car? Your butt with a cocoa mutt. Nice. But there's someone stops next to them in a convertible, and their friend goes in, and she's like, "Do you want anything?" to the girl in the car, and she's like, "Yeah, give me some cokes." It's like not one coke, but like bring me multiple cokes, and she's also drinking a Sprite, and it's just this funny how much there is with the product placement, and then there's a split second. Well, and I swear this is true. If you don't believe me, check out the scene. There's like a split second or two where the alien, the dad alien, I think, stretches his arm because they can just like stretch their arms and shit. That's a part of their alien body, I guess. They can stretch out and grab this woman's Sprite, but like they've been drinking Coke this whole time and now they want Sprite. I don't get that. Maybe it's just has to be a Coke product. That's all that matters. I don't know. But anyways, they grab this from the woman, and then she's like, you know, freaked out. But before, she wasn't freaked out. She's like flirting with the alien. Wouldn't you immediately be like, what the fuck is that over there? You know, be like, what's going on? That's an alien or something. But no, she just like flirts with them and then drinks her Sprite, and then it gets taken away. And then for a split second, the alien flips her off. I swear, the flips her off. It looks like that. I swear to God, it's fucking funny. And then after that, they get up and they just walk into the grocery store. The aliens just decide to go grocery shopping all of a sudden for some reason. And it's so funny. There's a part, there's a big stack of Coca-Cola cans, and the one alien grabs the Coke can and the whole pyramid falls, and then like security is called, but they just want their groceries. And then like one of the aliens grabs a gun and doesn't understand, but they're holding the gun, and everything sort of escalates. But I want to talk about this one part because, like I said, the aliens walk kind of like this, like they walk kind of like that. So there's a part where he grabs a watermelon and he's walking like this with the watermelon, and it made me laugh so hard. It's the way the way these aliens look, the way this is done is so funny to me. I can't stress enough. But yeah, It's really so bad it's good. And let's talk about the crazy alternate ending because I didn't know this. I found this out. So the ending, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. It's still gonna be funny, I think, even if this does spoil it for you. Eric, the mall just explodes because I don't even understand how the mall explodes. Honestly, like there's gunshots and somehow the mall just explodes. Maybe the aliens had something to do with it. They can make things explode, but usually only when they're touching things. So I don't really understand. But the mall explodes and Eric is, I guess, too close to the explosion, so he just dies. But it doesn't really make sense. And I was thinking that, I was like, was he really that close to the explosion? They don't really show that. But apparently, in everywhere else except for North America, it's released in the European version or whatever if there's an Asian version, whatever, I don't know. But it's released at least in the European version. I know. I found this out. That it was originally supposed to be one of the cops accidentally kills Eric. One of the cops accidentally kills Eric, and then the aliens bring him back to life. Not with Coca-Cola, but that would be pretty funny if they did. They like use their superpowers because it's established that like they can touch things and make electricity happen. Because at the beginning, the first like 40 minutes of the movie, it's just like weird things are happening, and Eric's like, I don't understand. Why is my TV working and it's not plugged in? Why is my remote control car working without batteries? It's all these different things that Mac just touches and makes work. He does different sort of what you might call it shenanigans. He does a lot of different chaos. The different chaos is happening, and then Eric eventually, of course, figures it out that it's Mac. But yeah, I'm running out of stuff to say with this movie, honestly. But I did like it. I enjoy this film. It's so silly. It's so ridiculous. And there's a part where they have the wheelchair at the end when the mall's exploding, and they have it clearly so badly composited onto there that like it's clearly like drawn on frame by frame, and it's like shaking, and it looks so bad, but it is pretty funny, and lots of things you can just laugh at in this film. And Paul Rudd, if a lot of people know about this film because of Paul Rudd, because every time he would go onto Conan, he would share a clip from whatever movie he was in or show, but he would not show the clip. He would always just show the same clip from Mac and Me with Eric falling off the cliff, and then it cuts to at the end with Mac going. He would show that after every single clip, except for one or two times. I think Judd Apatow made him play the clip for Knocked Up or something. But he would usually play the clip for Mac and Me, and I think that's pretty funny. So that was a noteworthy fact, I do believe. So let's end this film. Let's end this review. Mac and Me, I'm going to give this... It's so bad it's good, for sure. It's not the level, to me at least, as Tommy and the Cool Mule, but I enjoy Tommy and the Cool Mule. I'm going to give this movie a cool 7.5. And again, I know this isn't good movie, but it's so bad it's good. And they did try. Like, they tried to make a movie. There's some things that aren't good about it, but it's definitely entertaining. The McDonald's scene is hilarious. The way the aliens look is so funny. The product placement is unbelievable and just so ridiculously funny, too. I can't say enough about how ridiculous this movie is, so I'll just stop. Mac and Me, 7.5 out of 10. Dogs.